I'm Nairne Scott-Douglas. I'm a kidney specialist, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about health and safety while you're doing your kidney march this year. And I think the main thing I'd like to impress upon you is that you need to be safe when you walk. So make sure you find a good place to walk. We're really discouraging walking on roadways. I know the kidney march, we have a controlled roadway walking where we have a lot of crew and staff making sure it's safe. But there's a lot better places, and actually places that are easier on your feet to walk, particularly dirt trails, some of the asphalt trails, around the reservoirs, places like that. You should need to build up the distances you're going to be walking on. Many of you have already been training for this. But building up's an important part. You don't want to hurt yourself by going out too hard and doing too far in the first few days. Your muscles need to get used to it, and one of the things they need to get used to is the length and the power that you're using them. So it's very important that you stretch. I think it's easier on your feet to walk on dirt. I know walking on asphalt often causes blisters on the downhill or the uphill side, because there's a little grade to the side of the asphalt. We see a lot of blisters. And well, one of the ways to prevent blisters is to actually build up walking. So if you build up walking and you develop calluses, those are important protection for your feet. Good to round off the edges of the callus with a little abrasive to get the edges off them, but don't take those calluses away, because your body needs them to protect that part of your foot. And often we find people get blisters right where they used to have a callus. So the callus can protect you. If you do get a blister, it's a little different than when you're doing 35, 38K a day for 3 days. If you get a blister, you should actually take a day or two off and let that blister heal. I'd like you to consider putting Duoderm on your feet if you're going to walk a long distance where you think you might get hot spots, particularly around the heel and the ball of the foot. Both of those areas are quite susceptible to getting hot spots and then blisters. But also I would use Duoderm. You can pick these all up at the pharmacy, Moleskin or Duoderm, and there's generic names for them as well, that you can wrap. It's a lot easier to wrap toes with that. If you're on any medications, you should take all your medications every day, even when you're walking. Hydration is really important. You should increase your water intake, particularly if you're on water pills or diuretics when you're walking. You need to be well hydrated. Your muscles need that, and your brain needs that. And so drinking lots of fluid, it'll help you avoid heat stroke. If it's a hot day when you're walking, you're going to need to increase your fluid intake dramatically. To actually, if you're walking 10 kilometers, you probably should be drinking a couple liters over that period of time on a hot day. And the other thing is, if you're diabetic and you're exercising more than you usually do, you may not need as much insulin. Because when you exercise, you burn up more sugars, and therefore you need a little bit less insulin. So talk to your nurse or your doctor about insulin and exercise. Make sure you have something with you that's quick sugar in case you feel like your sugars are going low. If you've got pain, the best thing to use is acetaminophen or Tylenol for aches and pains. If you've got over half your kidney function, you can use ibuprofen as well. Some people find that works better. If you've got less than 50% of your kidney function, you should talk to your doctor about whether or not you can use ibuprofen or an anti-inflammatory rather than Tylenol if it works better for you. In fact, if you have any medical condition, you should tell your doctor that you're doing the kidney march and that you're going to be doing this exercise in August and September, just so they know and they can tell you if you need to take any extra precautions. Of course, if you have any questions, concerns, or wondering anything, just give the Kidney Foundation a call. They can always get a hold of me or one of my colleagues who can answer those questions for you. Take care and march safe.